When murder goes viral, social media and the U.S. teen victim case that shocked the nation, they say the internet never forgets. But what happens when the internet becomes the investigator, the judge, and the audience? This is the story of a young woman whose dream life was unfolding online until the posts stopped. A story that shocked a nation and showed the dark side of social media. This is the story of Gabby Petito and how her murder went viral. Gabby Petito was 22 years old, full of life, laughter, and dreams of seeing the world. She shared her adventures on YouTube and Instagram, photos of sunsets, camping spots, smiles with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. To her followers, she was living the perfect van life dream. A couple exploring America in a white Ford Transit, documenting every moment. But behind the filters and hashtags, there were cracks in the picture. Friends noticed tension. Some of her posts felt forced, smiles that didn't quite reach her eyes. Still, her followers adored her. The van life couple was gaining traction, and every new upload drew more attention. In July of 2021, they hit the road for what was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime. Their route stretched across the American West from Florida through Utah, then Wyoming. Gabby called her parents often, updating them about their journey. But by late August, those calls became less frequent. And on August 30th, her mother received a final text message. It simply read, "No service in Yosemite." But Gabby was nowhere near Yosemite. A few days later, Brian Laundrie returned home to Florida alone. He was driving Gabby's van. No Gabby, no explanation. Her family immediately knew something was wrong. They filed a missing person report, and what followed would become one of the most viral true crime investigations in modern history. Within hours, social media lit up. Twitter threads, TikTok theories, Reddit maps, millions of strangers suddenly became digital detectives. Everyone wanted to solve the mystery of the missing influencer. Hashtags like #FindGabby trended worldwide. Armchair investigators studied every frame of her videos, analyzing shadows, body language, timestamps, even background reflections. And incredibly, some of them found real clues. One YouTuber discovered footage from her dashcam that captured Gabby's white van parked near a remote Wyoming campground, the same area where investigators would later discover her body. The power of the internet had turned the entire world into an investigative task force. But with that power came chaos. False leads flooded the police. Random names and faces were accused. And the line between helping and harming began to blur. The tragedy of a young woman's death was becoming viral entertainment. On September 19, 2021, Gabby Petito's remains were found in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park. The coroner ruled her death a homicide, the result of strangulation. The search for Brian Laundrie intensified, and as the nation watched, the internet speculated, dissected, and argued. Brian vanished into a Florida nature reserve. Weeks later, his remains were discovered. In his notebook, a confession, he admitted responsibility for Gabby's death. The case was over, but online it was only beginning. Documentaries were produced within months. News specials aired on every major network. Millions of views, millions of opinions. And suddenly, Gabby's life and death became a form of content. Her name became a hashtag, a brand, a cautionary tale. It forced everyone to ask, what are we doing when we watch these tragedies unfold in real time? Are we helping, or are we consuming? The Gabby Petito story wasn't the first case to go viral. Years earlier, in 2019, another young woman, Bianca Devins, was murdered by someone she met online. Her killer posted photos of her body on social media. Those images spread faster than authorities could stop them. The horror of it led to new conversations about digital responsibility, and even new laws. The internet can solve crimes, yes, but it can also exploit them, can help families find justice, or it can turn their grief into spectacle. For Gabby's family, the public attention was both a blessing and a curse. The world cared. Millions shared her face. But with that came invasion, endless comments, cruel theories, fake accounts pretending to be family members. Grief in the public eye is no ordinary grief. Today, her parents advocate for missing persons everywhere. They've built foundations in her name to help others who vanish without headlines. Because for every Gabby Petito, there are thousands of people who go missing without a single tweet. Their stories don't trend. Their faces don't go viral. And their families suffer in silence. When murder goes viral, it reveals something about all of us. Our obsession with mystery, our hunger for closure, and our fascination with watching real-life pain through a screen. But maybe, just maybe, it also reveals hope that millions of strangers still care enough to notice. That even in a noisy, distracted world, we stop for a moment to help someone we've never met. There's a fine line between empathy and entertainment, between awareness and exploitation. And it's up to us to decide which side of that line we stand on. If you're watching this video today, remember Gabby Petito as more than a headline. She was a daughter, a friend, a dreamer who wanted to live free on the open road. And remember the thousands of families still waiting for answers. If you ever come across information about a missing person, report it to local authorities, not social media first. Because your one call might save a life before it becomes a hashtag. Thank you for watching Real Life Mysteries True Crime. If you found this story powerful, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps bring awareness to real victims, real families, and real cases that deserve attention.